Alright, what's up you guys? Today is Wednesday, June 9th. Just got a buzz cut, so I'm going to do my head shave. Okay, today I'm using my largest brush, Acca Kappa. I believe this is model 1869. The knot on this inside is a 25 millimeter, but by the time it gets to the handle opening, this is over 28 millimeters wide. So it's a pretty big brush compared to most of the 24. Kind of is a pretty safe average on most of the knots that I use. I'm using the same soap that I used in the last video, as well as this morning I used the SV Flying Mango Beta 4.3. This is going to be available, I'm sure, probably next month from Bull Goose. I know that the soap is curing, so it's probably going to get packaged and sent out by the end of the month. So, real quick, so if any of you guys watched the tribute to Matt Hilton, 120 and a 55, in that last video, there's an option to make a donation to a charity. I just want to let you guys know once again. So we have the Shave Nook Samag Silvertip, and then this is the Long High Mountain White. I'm going to give these two brushes 2 more days, so sometime like Friday or Saturday, I'll make some sort of mention that there's no more offers allowed. So if you guys want to check out more details on that, just check out the most previous video, and you'll hear somewhere in the middle how to, you just need to send me a private message and say how much you want to make an offer on the brush for, and we'll figure out how to, figure out if the brush is going to go to you. So like I said, just check out the previous video. What's funny is, although I think a lot of people nowadays at 26 is pretty common. See how the lighting works out on this. My 24 millimeter brushes, you guys, are perfect for head shaving as well. So I don't really find that the size to me really makes like I don't know that a bigger brush is necessarily like automatically a obvious head shaving brush. There's times also where like I don't really understand when people are saying that certain brushes are better for bowl lathering or for face lathering. And part of that is just because everyone has a different preference on what they want to feel when the brush makes contact with their skin. I guess in some ways, if someone is saying like a longer handle brush is more appropriate for bowl lathering, I think that makes sense, but gotta keep putting water in this. Yeah, this is a really nice brush. I've thought at different times about getting rid of this brush, but I think it'll just be one of those brushes that's kind of just on backup just in case I want to use it and really want a bigger feeling Silvertip. It makes lather really nice. Feels good. This is quite a bit on the softer side. I think part of it is the longer loft, the amount of Silvertip hair that's in the knot is good. It's not gel tipped. This lather just soaks up this water. Just gonna keep wetting it. It's pretty much good. This morning, like I said, I used the Flying Mango. I used that same PAA brush. What's it? The Green Ray. I used the carbon minus base plate with that Kai on its like a second use. So I switched this over because the last time you guys see me head shave on video, which was my last head shave, I didn't do any off camera. I used the carbon minus base plate. So I want to give this larger gap base plate a try. Okay, I think this is pretty much where I want it. I'm just gonna do a little bit more water. Make sure I get a good coat. And I always go from the back of the neck to the front. So, oh, I didn't grab a rinse bowl, so we'll make do. After this first pass, you guys may need to give me a second to fill up my little bowl full of water. This seems to be working pretty good. Again, the look of the shaved head, it's not necessarily that I am in love with it, but the feeling, like I was telling the barber, he was bald as well. When I have, you know, no hair, no stubble, that you can just kind of feel the breeze just to just kind of a little bit more of an extreme degree. It feels really nice. So it was funny, on Monday when I filmed that video for Matt, we had some cooler weather, we had some clouds, and then of course it only lasted so long. Back to pretty clear skies here. Probably could have loaded more, but that's the one thing that I don't like necessarily about bigger brushes. It's kind of like you really need to make sure you don't underload, or else you're going to end up over watering the amount of product that you have for less passes. It's been nice just kind of, like I said, these last couple weeks somehow getting a little bit more time squeezed in to get some videos. It's been nice just kind of chatting with some of you guys a little bit more frequently. I I know Nav was mentioning that he's really liking, what is it, Mirto di Sardegna, and what's the other one he's liking? Kubebe, maybe? And Nav was saying that he's got a wet shaving products 3-band, which I think he was saying it kind of matches the description of the Plaisson that I have, which I think he's saying that it has a little bit more loft. It's probably not like a super dense Silvertip, and that maybe the softness is there. It's just not to the point where it feels gel tipped. And there was a couple WSB Silvertip brushes that I almost got years ago from a couple of the older guys that I used to buy brushes from, and at that time I just held off on purchasing them. So this seems to be feeling pretty good, so I guess I'll just try to get one more pass in and go from there. So you guys give me a second, let me just refill this bowl real fast. Okay. It's not very easy to set up at the sink compared to the way everything was laid out when I used to do videos from a couple other different places. So I do this setup from like a rack. So all right, this is feeling good. Obviously I don't have my mirror like I used to, so we'll just go back this way and go from there. All right. So I guess a couple things about Badger brushes. I got the Vylong that's up for donation, and then my other older Vylong, which if you guys are, you've been in the hobby a little bit longer, Bull Goose released what was called the Lord Randall Vylong Silvertip, and back then Vylong was more or less claiming that they had the same sourcing as Plaisson's High Mountain White. So supposedly this hair, it's obviously not a Vylong handle, but this was the Lord Randall Vylong knot, and they didn't label it High Mountain White, but in the description they said it's from the same source apparently. And to me, you guys, Vylong is probably the closest thing that you can get as far as a 3-band Silvertip that may feel similar to the vintage Plaissons. I think that they're using a fairly maybe it's like the Badgers that their pelts come from are from a colder region, or the elevation is higher, so that the hair, although still maybe like classified as Silvertip or 3-band, it has a little bit of that firmness in the trunk compared to like, I don't know which Silvertip would be best described as like most floppy in my collection. I don't know, maybe the Purple Heart is maybe one of the more pliable, but what I mean is the hairs just have a little bit more resilience, although they're thinner hairs compared to 2-band. So if anybody is finding that they're kind of interested in a vintage Plaisson, I would look into the Vylong brushes, maybe on like what is it, Gifts and Care. Not too many of the American distributors are using, or a lot of them aren't carrying Is your guys' registration up to date? Or has your social security card been hacked? Or have you won a free cruise to the Caribbean? I'm sure that's what that call was. I'm sure missing out on a prize, but fortunately for you guys, this head shave is much more important than than my car being repossessed, or what are the other ones? My electricity is about to be turned off in 30 minutes, if you guys catch my drift. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then maybe you're lucky enough that you don't live with a phone. What are the other ones? You have a long lost grandson who's lost abroad and he needs money wired to him right away. Anyway, before I finish this pass real quick. So the main difference with when I got this Lord Randall Vylong brush was that the loft was higher. And I really liked the brush, but it didn't suit me quite as much for the face lathering. So what I did was I broke the handle and I lowered the loft. Now, I was talking to Ken at Shave 326, and it's something that's a little harder to explain, but you know, your bloom width is going to be impacted based on how low you set your loft. So the lower the loft, the more you're limiting the bloom. And on this brush, this is one of the reasons why I am kind of letting it go. It's a little more fanish, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's not preferable or that I don't like it or that it doesn't feel luxurious. But even if I were to have this set a little bit deeper, it would still feel nice. But the difference is on most of these 3-band brushes, the slight bulbish nature, even if it's still kind of like a hybrid fan, I think that there's just a little bit better lathering capabilities, whether it's on the face or on the head. So, like I said, it's not necessarily that this changed the fact that it doesn't have good flow through or release, or that it was too floppy, but somehow on this one, just having that little bit of a pinch really seemed to really balance out that brush. I really, really love that brush. I decided right before, I'm like, you know what? I haven't used this Acca Kappa Silvertip much, so I figured I'd throw it on for this video. But that Vylong is definitely one that was one of my most used head shaving brushes. The other one that got used a lot for my head shaves is this one, the Shave Revolution 24mm High Mountain White. Both of those feel really good while lathering. This larger gap's feeling good. I've got some Copali coming in on Friday from PAA, so maybe next week you guys will see me use that. It's going to be a busy weekend. But I'll try to get a shave in for my birthday, so you guys may see some video early next week. I'm curious if any of the viewers have very much experience with any of the Savile Row brushes. I may end up getting a 22mm and a 24mm. I asked Anthony Esposito earlier today if he had a recommendation between the two. And not surprisingly, he said shoot for the 24mm. But one of the things one of the reasons I wanted to bring up Savile Row is if you're on QED USA, where you can buy the Savile Row brushes, they offer in the description during the manufacturing process how much hair is used for each knot as far as weight. So maybe it's like 15 grams of 3-band Silvertip hair get used, and I don't know if that was the 22 millimeter brush. I don't want to overdo this, but let's see. Okay. So I don't know how it looks on the back, but this is feeling pretty. Let me just get this little line right here. See, although it's not uber slick right now, the skin is soft enough, and yeah, like I said, this Flying Mango soap, I used, I think, that's it. I think I've used 2 to 3 pucks of the original formula, probably 2, and then I'm coming down a little bit on this 4.3. So I can't really confirm whether that one that's going to be released next month is supposed to be the same exact beta 4.3 formula. So I don't know. Not really sure if there's an update or not. But here's just some Thayers. I'll give this a rinse. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to use for an aftershave. Maybe I won't. Is that bad, you guys? But I don't think I'm showing any blood. I know last time I had a little blood, but feeling nice. So anyway, once again, I want to just thank you guys for leaving a comment, checking out, even if you don't leave a comment. So yeah, just 2 more days left on if you guys want to make an offer on either the Vailong or the Samag brushes. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, or shoot me a private message. But yeah, just let me know if you guys have any thoughts on that. You might want to check out the previous video for more information, but it should be covered pretty well. But yeah, you guys may not catch a video for the next few days, possibly till next week. I'm staying real busy. So until I see you guys next time, hope you guys are all staying well and staying safe. So enjoy your shaves, and I'll talk to you guys soon.